Hello, my beautiful people. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Depends where you are in the world. It's evening time here, and that's why I said evening first. It's very relaxing, unwinding time and chill out time. After a long day, I think, so many people like it because then you can sit down with yourself, with your family. Um, but that doesn't really happen very often now, unfortunately. I don't want to generalize it, might be happening in some families, but most of the time it's like, everyone is on their phones. Even after having a long day, either people are just watching television, and even that is outdated now, I think. And children are on their laptops or on their phones, and even adults, that when they get time, some families I've seen people sitting in the same room and talking to each other, on messages instead of talking to each other. We've lost that personal touch in our communication, and we're not even realizing what kind of loss it is. We think like it's okay now, we just it's modern time, and we are actually everything is getting advanced, and we're living in a technology time, so it's all okay, but you're losing your skills. And moreover, your children, the young generation, i'm I feel concerned about them because I feel like they are actually they, they're missing out on that beauty and that um, um, the beauty and the warmth of a conversation that comes when people talk to each other. Talking on the message definitely delivers the message. Talking on the message is okay, it delivers the what you really want to say. Well, to some extent. But it's not complete in itself because human voice has got its own role. It actually it just gives a beautiful touch to every word. Your voice says ups and downs and expressions, your facial expressions, your body language. It's the whole package. That's why those messages coming on a machine, um, just words. They're just words. How much they can impact, how much they can say. As I said, they're delivering a message. I mean, but they're not delivering the feelings, the emotions. Even if you read the old classic novels and things, and very skilled authors wrote those novels, and they really, really, they have got a grip on the story, and they really grab your attention, and they even, they have the capability of keeping you in that moment and engaging you with whatever they're saying. Fine. First of all, they were skilled people, and yes, that moment is like, it happens. But even then, even then, reading is reading a book, although it was so beneficial in many other ways, but human interaction with each other in person is very important. You get on a train, people are on their phone. You're on a tube, people are on their phones. Stations, airports, bus stops, wherever you go, people are on their phones. Two people sitting next to each other don't even, maybe they will say hello to each other. That's about it. But then they're on the phone. How much time we spend on our phones and how much we're losing, we're missing out by doing that. We're missing out on that warmth that only feels when you talk to each other, face to face. I know there are video calls, but okay. But the thing is, why you think there's a very healing touch when people hug each other? You can't hug people on the phone, on a video call. You can't. You can't kiss them. You can only send them a flying kiss. So it's all like, the thing is, it's like you see a picture anybody's photo, yes, if they're smiling, the smile is there, but person standing in front of you smiling is totally different thing. It has its own effect on your emotions, on you as a person, and on them. Same with other things. When we are trying to express our feelings, the words can only say so much, but so much is left behind, so much is not there. Somebody is expressing their love towards somebody. Their voice will express their feelings along with those words. Without that voice, those words are not saying enough. We are straying away from all that. We're running too fast, and we're leaving so much important stuff behind without even recognizing how it's affecting us as a human, how emotionally it's damaging. Emotions are very important for us, for all human beings. That human touch, the effect of your and somebody's smile, the exchange of your smiles and exchange of the words in person, it has its own beauty, own magic. And when you're typing on the machine, well, if it's something obviously you're away from each other, then maybe yes, that's the only way you can do it, and it's a convenience, that's fine. But when you're sitting next to each other, or when you're in the same house and still you're doing it, or when you're living like two houses away from each other, people don't have time to sit down with each other, with together, and have that feeling of togetherness is not there anymore. That's why everyone is so lonely. That's why everyone is so detached. That's why we're becoming more and more and more and more and more and more selfish. I should have added few times more, because we are just becoming extremely selfish. This is what happens. These are the consequences of straying away from the things that actually are natural. This is how it's supposed to be. But you're changing everything because you think you can change everything. But you're not looking at the effect of that change. If the change is good, if it's coming in it, mobile phones are not bad. They're a great help. I mean, back in 90s, I couldn't think like I was on a road or traveling and then I could talk to my mom. Obviously not. I had to find a phone and then call my mom. Now, wherever you are, you can contact your parents or whoever you want to contact. So that's the convenience. But now it's becoming an obsession. Now it's taking over you. Now you're not using the machine is using you. And that is the scary part of it. I seriously can't stress this point more, because I feel like in the end, we're already halfway through, but there will be a time, and that will be really scary, when people will be all machines, or machines will completely take over and you will be standing there helpless. Now your children don't even write one telephone number. They go for everything. They are dependent on this machine. They think this is the only way of communicating with people. They think this is the only way you can write the information. So in the old days, when people used to read books, physical books, it might look like old fashioned. Who's got the time to go out and go to the library and or go to a shop and buy a book. And no, it's fine. Just search for something, go online and read it all. You got the information, but that experience of buying a book or going to the library and being in that environment and touching that book and turning the pages, that is all missing, gone. Touch, that's why these five senses are there. Touch has very, very important role in our life. Why we hug people when somebody is upset and we try to comfort them, we hug them. Why? Because touch has its own magical effect. And same goes with the other things. You smile. Somebody is telling you, oh, I love you, on a message. You can't see their face. You can't see their twinkling eyes. You can't hear the beautiful variations of their voice. So much has been missed out. That I love you just comes like, I love you. That's it. Maybe a couple of hearts. They're also available. The hearts are actually rolling everywhere, seriously. Heart is such a beautiful, important, valuable human organ. It's a muscle, of course, we all know that, but it's life. We're throwing hearts everywhere, just one click away. As many hearts as you want to throw or send to somebody. Empty hearts. It's like a bottle without water. Can't satisfy your thirst. So physical touch is very important. Physical interaction, personal interaction is very important. Whether it's with the books or with humans. But we're missing out on all that. We don't have time. The same time that we invented the time. A human did, It's not a God-made thing. There's no time in the real world. I keep saying this. So that was just to keep an eye on how you're doing what, when you want to do what, and to discipline you. This time has actually taken over you. So now you're singing this song all the time. I don't have time. I don't have time. Why would you say something like that? Because you have to get the time out. You have to keep your priorities right. Who will give you the time? Whatever time you want to use it, this word repeatedly, time. Okay. So that means like whatever time you've got on this earth, you have to divide it in your how you want to use it. And you don't have time. And the time that you have, that is all gone to the machines and the social media. So what about you feeling as a person? And that's why we're becoming more and more lonely in ourselves. Everybody is feeling insecure emotionally. People are becoming more selfish because they're straying away from nature and natural things. I read something, and it's not very long actually, and it's quite interesting because we all know, I'm sure people know more than I do, but yes, whenever I come across something like this, I think like maybe it's worth sharing with people. So, when we used to read the books, so it says like you absorb more information when you read the books, physical books. And because people are so obsessed with this idea that everything has to be proven, scientifically proven. So yes, it says scientifically proven. So maybe that might even you might take it seriously then, because it says in an earlier study, print readers also scored higher in other areas, such as empathy, immersion in the book, and understanding of the narrative. Scientists believe this effect is related to the tactile sensation of holding a book in your hand. Now that sensation is gone, because that's what I'm talking about, senses. Our senses, we're not using them all properly. So the sense of touching the things, touching people, that has its own magic, and nothing can replace it. Now, when you scroll on your phone, your body feels nothing. Well, it's getting the phone's those vibrations, and obviously you're interacting with the machine. But I'm talking about the emotional vibrations. I'm talking about the sensation that goes through the body when we hug each other, when we smile at each other, we exchange the smiles. That with the loving, beautiful, in a beautiful way, when a mother looks at a child with loving eyes, that smile cannot be put, no machine can translate it. You can capture in a picture, but that will be only like, just still. But it will not express itself fully. That's the beauty of life. A real whole person sitting in front of you, standing next to you, it's a totally different thing. It's a beautiful experience. And our new generation, unfortunately, they are being deprived of even feeling it, even experiencing it. And it's really sad. Think about what I said today, because I think it's really worth looking at. I know everyone who is watching this video knows about this a lot more than I do. But I'm just doing my bit. I'm just trying to draw people's attention on the things that they know, but they're not implementing in their life. Anyway, think about it and do whatever you can do to keep natural. Encourage your children to read books. I don't want to prolong this video. I'll do another video on the fact, how it's important and how positively it affects us when we write. Like we hold a pen in our hand and we write. That's another magic. That's another beautiful thing. How many of us are doing it these days? And especially the young generation. And it's not their fault. It's definitely not their fault. We pushed them in that direction. And they're just straying away. They're really straying away. We're letting this happen because we're also like in the same, we're also too occupied with the same, lifestyle. Instead of correcting it, before you lose the control completely on your life. I think it's time to think about it. Live mindfully. Keep smiling, because life is beautiful.